Hello. It's great to see you. I'd like to start with some apologies for being gone so long from YouTube. As many of you know, recently I lost a very good friend who was not only a streamer, but a mentor to me, and it sort of threw me into a bit of a tailspin with my mental health. I did get help. I'm in therapy. I'm improving. With that being said, I feel like I'm finally ready to get back into the YouTube jungle in more ways than just one. More on that later. First of all, some things around here are going to be changing. I'm sorry to see some things go, but I'm super excited about where things are going to be going. Before we get into the future, however, I do need to get a little bit into the past and what will be staying versus what's going to be leaving the channel. To start off, I regret to say my Sims 4 playthroughs on YouTube will all be stopping. I have different reasons for each of them, but it comes down to just not having enough time to continue everything with all the things that are coming. And if my bestie Janie, the one who I lost, taught me anything, it would be that if I'm going to add things to my schedule, I need to make room by removing other things. And unfortunately, my Sims 4 content is just not doing very well on this platform, and it's going to be the first thing that's going to be shelved or, well, moved to Twitch. This is not to say that some of these playthroughs might not be brought back when and if I have more time, but for now, I just don't have that time. I'll be filming separate announcements for each of the 4 Sims playthroughs to explain the what and the why, and all of them will be getting a final video, whether it's just the last episode that I've filmed that's waiting to be published, or just the announcement. Another thing that will be getting phased out on this channel is VOD publishing. This is for 2 reasons. One, I'll get further into at the end of this announcement, which is the fact that they simply won't be necessary. And again, I'll get more into that later. 3 of my 5 days a week streaming is now devoted to co-working, which doesn't have VODs published. And the other 2 gaming days, well, let's just say they won't need their VODs published on YouTube either. More on that later. The second reason is that I just don't have time to be going through all my old videos each week, editing them, splitting them, uploading them, all that stuff. It often takes me a full day of work just to get 1 week of VODs published, and I just don't have the extra time to put into it. So, also, some of the VODs in the last few months simply don't exist anymore because of all the crashing I've been dealing with OBS, and some series are going to be missing days, and it's just not something I want to deal with right now. That being said, there are some VODs I will be hunting down and getting published. Mainly the rest of the Assassin's Creed stuff that I've streamed and hasn't been published, because that series isn't dying. Just saying. Next, when talking about current channel things, we get to my Project Hospital playthrough, which will not be going anywhere. It's going to slow to 1 episode a week, but it will be continuing. It's going to become part of the new stuff that's coming along with the other series that will be continuing as well, just in a slightly different format for some of them. We'll get to that. Now for the fun part. I get to announce the new things coming to this channel, the first of which is starting this month and has been weighing on my mind for a while now. For history, I have some maybe 1,000 to 1,500 games or more that I have on my want to play list. My backlog, if you will. And they're not getting played. Between streaming full-time and now starting back up my YouTube channel, when I have free time, I just sit and stare at the lists and can't choose a game. Either that, or I'll just give up and I'll play one of my old favorites, or I'll just do something other than a game because I can't decide. So, after putting weeks, or maybe more like months, of thought into this, I've decided I got to do something about it. So, I am bringing THRALL's Backlog Bash to my YouTube channel. This will be 6 specialized series of games separated by genre, plus a bonus series based on the vote that you guys did. And there will be a special 8th new series, which I'll get into in a minute. The first of the series will be based on action-adventure games, and will be starting with me finally finishing my Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Then I'm going to switch it off between Assassin's Creed games and other ones for my backlog. beginning with Red Dead Redemption, which I'm completely unspoiled on, and will be my first playthrough of, period. I know nothing about the games, coming into it completely blind, and I am so excited. There are tons more games on this list, as well as that, so you'll just have to wait and see where we go from there. The second series is based on survival games, which for me are mostly open world survival craft games. Yes, I know most of these actually fit into other genres, but let's be honest, I have so many of them, they need to be their own thing. So I made them their own thing. Simple as that. This series will start with a continuation of my Subnautica series, then we'll be getting into a game I've been dying to play, called The Altars. It's one I tried to stream, but my computer was having problems, I got frustrated, I quit, I never finished the game. So I will be starting it over, we'll be playing it on YouTube, and it's going to be a good time. After that, we'll be getting into things like Subnautica Below Zero, No Man's Sky, and others. I have a huge list. It's not necessarily ordered in any particular order, I guess it's not ordered in any particular way. However, it's going to be a lot of fun. Next, we're going to talk about the management and simulation category. I kind of lumped them together, and this was the one that you guys overwhelmingly voted on by a very large margin. We're not going to be doing one, but we're going to be doing 2 series on it. The first, of course, will be the continuation of the Project Hospital series. It's not going anywhere. The second is going to be a full playthrough of all of the Megaquarium campaigns. After that, the sky is literally the limit, because this is another category I have a ton of games in. Some things I've been looking forward to include doing a full playthrough on hard mode of the Planet Zoo story campaigns, as well as trying to continue into the scenarios, because I've never played the scenarios. And when I played the campaign, there wasn't even a hard mode available, so I'm missing those achievements. I've tried to play the scenario, and I keep stalling out, because I didn't have a reason to continue. Filming it gives me a reason to continue. I'm also going to be bringing some dinosaur games into the mix, as well as things like Dave the Diver, some airport sims, some school sims, tavern sims, even some drug dealer simulators. It's one to watch for. Next on the list, we have role-playing games. This 4th series will be encompassing a huge category of games, both in the number that I have available to me, as well as the number who are actually classified under this label. While researching the topic, I took quite a bit of time to figure out exactly how games are technically classified, so I wouldn't be throwing games into a series they simply don't belong in. That being said, I must make a confession. The first couple of games I put into the RPG category don't actually belong there. However, the later games in that series do, so you're just going to have to deal with it. That's the God of War series. I've started this series so very many times, and always something pops up and I forget about it, and then I have to restart it to remember how to play. This time, that's not happening. I'm going to play straight through the first 2 games in the series, and then start alternating between the God of Wars and BioShock games, which I've also started but never finished. And then I'm going to bring in some other RPG games like Clair Obscur, the Dragon Age series, the Witcher series, the Fable series, and even more than that. The 5th series I'm going to talk about is strategy games, city builders, and grand strategy games, or 4X games. To start this series, I'm going to literally go back in time, and I'm going to pull out one of my very, very, very favorite games, because I want to introduce you guys to it. It's called Majesty, the Fantasy Kingdom Sim. It's a stellar game that more people really should know about, because it absolutely still holds up. It did receive a sequel game, which unfortunately didn't do too well, so the series sort of died out. There do appear to be a couple of spiritual successors in the works that I found on Steam Next Fest recently, so watch this space. Another series that will be shown early on is the Age of Empires series, the Tropico series, and the Age of Wonders series. The sixth and final series of my THRALL's Backlog Bash will be based on adventure games, what I consider to be retro games, puzzle games, and point-and-click games. It's a big category. It kind of lumps a lot of things together. But I'm going to be starting with a game that is super close to my heart, but that I've never played. Which sounds weird. However, it's true. My very first video game that I ever played was a text-based adventure game, the first of its kind, and it was called Colossal Cave. This was where my dad taught me how to draw a map to logic things out and where my video game adventure began. Not too long ago, I discovered that a fully 3D version of that very game has been published. I own it now, but I have yet to play it or even start the game. And this seemed like the perfect time to bring it out. After Colossal Cave, we'll be diving into some Spiderweb Software games, which is a developer I've been a fan of for a very, very long time, but I've never gotten to finish either of their major series, Avernum and Geneforge. If you haven't heard of them, that's okay. They're very old-style RPGs with a great story, lots of places to explore, and quests to complete. Really looking forward to putting some time into this and enjoying some old-school retro stuff. If all of that sounds like a good time, just wait. I still have 2 more things to announce. The first of which is a series I originally started on Twitch, but that I've decided is going to be getting a full reboot on YouTube. Remember how I talked about that friend that I lost? This one's for her. It's called JAYNIE'S Gems, and it's a series of games dedicated to her memory and her legacy. These are games that she either loved, would have loved, played and didn't have a chance to finish, or games she recommended to me, or even games I recommended to her. Many of these are games I would not ordinarily play, including a bunch of puzzle games that I would usually just buy, then forget about because my brain wasn't in the right mood for them. We'll be starting with a full hard mode replay of Creatures of Ava, which I played on stream, loved, but I didn't get all the achievements for, and I really, really want to replay it. This gives me a reason to. I will then be trying to switch off between longer form games and shorter form games, but I can't guarantee that. What I can promise, however, is a good time as we remember a fallen star of my life, a gamer, a pilgrim, a writer, a streamer, and one of the best people I've ever known. Now, finally, I want to announce the last thing that's coming to my YouTube channel. That's live streaming. Before the end of 2025, I will be finishing setting up dual streaming. In other words, I'm going to be going live for the first time on this channel. At this time, it's my Monday and Saturday evening streams that will be dual streamed, which will be focused on Sims 4 gameplay content, challenge playthroughs, basically. I have 2 playthroughs going now, and a third will be joining them in the near future. The first of which is my Townie Achievement Challenge. The second is a wholly new playthrough of my Extended Not So Berry Challenge, which is even now, as I speak, being upgraded to a full 2.0 version, which is super exciting, and I'm having a great time with it. The final playthrough will actually even be more exciting, and that's because I'm pulling a story from my Sims 4 blog, which is linked below, and I'm bringing it to my live streaming. This is going to be based on a couple of Sims that have a fully realized background, a family that's in another save, and lots of drama coming with them. I hope this will be a way I can finally bring some true storytelling to my live stream, because this is a story I know well, I love, and is dear to my heart. Prior to this series starting, I will be publishing some YouTube videos on their background story, as well as some videos going over their family story, so that you all can get to know who they are and see where they've come from, and why they're leaving their current save for a new one. It's going to be a fully modded, CC-filled, and immersive playthrough of my Timeline Adventure Challenge, which is also being currently upgraded and rewritten to its 2.0 version at this time, and I couldn't be more excited. That means Sims 4 will not be leaving my YouTube channel. It's just going to be in a different format. That doesn't mean that all 4 of my Sims 4 series are dead forever. The Turner Legendary Legacy and the Thatcher Ultimate Decades Challenge are the ones that are probably going to come back at a later time. Just with all the updates we've been getting, keeping the mods that are required for those is extremely hard to do. It's stressful, and stress is something I really don't need in my life right now, and that's the main reason they're leaving. To wrap up, hopefully something of what I've said has been interesting to you. If not, sorry. However, this is the direction the channel's going, and I, for one, am super excited to finally be getting a reason to play all the games I've been wanting to play and haven't had the time or the motivation to actually start. I truly hope this new plan will resonate with some people and that you can find at least 1 or 2 series to enjoy on my channel, enabling it to finally start growing. If not, well, I tried. If you've stuck with me this far, please don't forget I have an EA creator code, and it's super easy to use at checkout to help support me and my content creation journey. I also have some other ways to support me, like a throne wishlist, a coffee page, Patreon memberships, and subscribing to my Twitch channel. I love and I appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging with me, and I hope you liked something from my announcement. Have a great time zone. Mwah.
Goodbye, Sarah.
And remember, fair maiden, should you need us...
Yes, should you need us, for any reason at all.
I need you, Huggle.
You do?
I don't know why, but every now and again in my life, for no reason at all, I need you. All of you.
You do? Well, why didn't you say so?
I don't